Hey, welcome everybody. Mark Robinson here, and welcome to the next installment about what are cryptocurrency wallets, the things you need to know. So like we said in this video series, we spoke about the brief introduction to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and why you should pay attention to the opportunity. All right, today's about what are Bitcoin wallets and where do you get them from. We'll be talking about how to buy and sell Bitcoin in the next couple of videos. Why does Bitcoin have value? Tools and resources as well. And also done a flow chart to buying, holding, and trading Bitcoin just to help you sort of navigate it all and go from where it is you are and where you want to be. So what is a crypto wallet? Look, the easiest way to explain it is, it's the equivalent of a crypto bank account. It's the software that programs the stored private and public keys. It helps interact with, various blockchain users blockchain, and it enables users to send and receive the digital currencies, and it monitors the balances. All right. What it does is it broadcasts the transactions to a network. And it connects you with the miners, the blockchain, and exchanges. The public key is the only information you need, right, to send and receive Bitcoin. And the private keys, it's a secret 256-bit number that allows the cryptocurrencies to be spent. So every wallet contains one or more private keys, and they're saved in the wallet file. So it also, when you have a look at the public keys, they always start with the number 1 or 3, right? And what you've got to really understand about the private keys is it's like the magic ticket allowing someone to spend crypto. So it's important that the private keys are kept really, really safe. And look, because once you've got them, basically the private keys. If I had your private key, it means I can spend your money or your cryptocurrencies. So the 3 degrees of security, there's hot, which are the private keys managed by a third party; warm, managing your own private keys; and cold, right, keeping your private keys offline. And that is the absolute most or the best way to secure your cryptocurrency. And we're going to go through all these during this session. So the key considerations when you're choosing a wallet, you've got to look at, the control of private keys. Do you own and control your keys? You want to have a look at the backup and security features. Do you have seed backup keys and PIN codes? Developer community, does it have an active development community for your maintenance? So you don't want to get, stuck with, old apps or old applications. There's nothing more annoying then you really enjoy something, and you know how to use it and what have you, and yet the latest iOS update, for example, it no longer supports that version. So you want to make sure the developer community is behind it as well. And ease of use, does it have an elegant user interface for fast and easy use? And that's something that we want to look at as well. Other things, compatibility. Is it compatible on different operating systems? Can you use it either on a PC or a Mac? Do you need a wallet for everyday purchases or just buying and holding digital currency? Do you plan to use several currencies or one single one? And do you require access? Do you require to access your digital wallet from anywhere or just from home? 3 rules to remember: always back up your wallet, always, right? 12 to 24 word phrases, and keep it safe. So, and don't store that on your computer as well. So that should be more of a, written down on paper, because it's important. And we'll talk more about that probably in another, we'll do another session on security, but that's, whenever you're doing it, 12 to 24 word phrase, that's like your passwords, right? You're going to do it. Number 2, always encrypt your wallet, password, and PIN code. And definitely, guys, diversify your Bitcoin across several Bitcoin wallets and cryptos as well, okay? And the simple way to look at it, guys, a Bitcoin address plus your private keys equals a Bitcoin wallet. Nice and simple. All right. There are actually 8 types of wallets: exchanges, browser wallets, mobile wallets, core client, lightweight client, brain wallets, paper wallets, hardware devices. Now, I'm only going to focus on the 5 main types now, which is your mobile, desktop, online, hardware, and multi-currency. Okay. So mobile wallets, they run via an app on your phone or iPad, tablet, etc. You want to look to keep only small amounts of coin in your mobile wallet, and consider it, consider your mobile wallet almost like your check account. I was going to say, like your spending account, savings account, because that's what it's almost like your daily transactions. So your everyday bank account when it comes to cryptocurrencies. But also, and the third one, guys, I think it's rather interesting. You've got to look at the rules when crossing international borders. And the reason why I say that is, remember when you tick your form and it actually says, are you taking more than $10,000 Australian, for example, outside, with you? Now, if you had, $5,000 in cash on you, and, and then you had $6,000 in actual Bitcoin wallet, you might have to, just double check that you don't have to declare that as well, because there are massive penalties, if they actually take that as into consideration as well, especially coming out of the US at the moment. They've got a bill in front of their parliament that states that, if people are taking more than 10,000 US outside the country, up to 500 grand fines, 10 years in jail. So it's a big one. Okay. Some examples of mobile wallets, Jaxx. Now, I quite like Jaxx. It's really easy to use on your mobile. It's got what they call a shape shifter in it. So I can actually, exchange Bitcoin to Ethereum, or, Zcash to Ethereum Classic, is, that sort of stuff. So Dash to Litecoin. So, so you can swap between the currencies as well. Coinbase, one of the larger, most well-known ones. Again, I've called it a mobile wallet, but it's also can be a desktop as well. And then one of the most, almost the most trusted in the industry is just straight out blockchain. So have a look at that. I've used that one as well. Very, very easy to use. So that's just some examples that are out there, guys, for mobile wallets. Desktop wallets. So basically, wallets that are downloaded and stored on your computer. In terms of security, they do offer one of the highest as well. And one of the things you've got to be really think about, though, guys, is, if your hardware, if you fry your hardware, and you haven't backed it up, you can lose all your coins. So you've got to be very careful as to how you do that. One of the things that I've put it into the hardware wallet side of things, but you may consider actually just having a desktop or a laptop, whatever you want, and you use it just for anything to do with crypto. So you're not going to have email on it or anything like that. So whenever you use it, it's for crypto only. You're not going to jump on any bloody naughty sites or click any links that you shouldn't be. Don't get on Facebook, all that sort of stuff. So worth considering. Here's an example. Now, I have not used Exodus, but I've actually just downloaded it as I was doing my research. It looks fantastic, especially, when you have a look at the interface. It's also got that shape shifter as well, so you can go between different currencies as well. You can send and receive from it as well, and do backups, etc., etc. So it looks actually quite sexy. It's actually, they talk about how beautiful it is, and I get where they're coming from. It actually is quite nice. So worth checking out, guys, for sure. Online wallets. Now, these are web-based and easy to access. They store your private keys online, making it easier to hack. All right. So you've got to be, anything that's online, definitely, hackers always have a crack at. Highly recommend that you use two-factor authentication, such as Google now or LastPass. Now, I've always thought, initially that, this Google authentication, I've got a couple of websites now that I go into regularly, and they use Google authentication, and I thought it was quite painful. But you know what? It just protects that, your passwords and everything, that extra level. And I'm getting used to it. I suppose it just gives me the shits when I've come into the office to quickly do something, go into one of those sites just to find that I left my bloody mobile out at, somewhere else. I've got to go get that, use the Google Authenticator. And all it is, guys, is it basically does these random numbers, and it lasts for, it looks like about 60 seconds. So, you type those numbers in and, it lets you into the site. So really, really good. Some examples, Coinbase, CoinSpot, and CoinJar. Now, there are a bunch of them out there. I've used all three of these. I'm currently, in Australia here. So I think CoinSpot's one of the easiest ones because they do have I think well over 100 different types of coins you can buy and swap between them as well. So, CoinJar, I'm probably going to close my account on that one. I still have a Coinbase account. And I just, depending on what I'm doing, I'm just finding Coinbase is quite expensive to get your money out. And a classic example was I had about $7 dollars in there, and they're going to charge me $5 to send that $7 to somewhere else. So that's a bit frustrating, to be honest with you. So so my favorite definitely is CoinSpot. In the tools and resources section, guys, when we go through that, I'm going to give you, some links to them as well. So check them all out. There are definitely more out there, but have a look. See which one suits you. Hardware wallets, made to store your private keys offline, which is great. That's the most secure and it's safest way to protect your coins. Your wallet, they are physical devices, right, connecting to your computer via a USB, which is perfect. They're user-friendly and portable, and can be restored if you lose it. So when you set them up, there's a way that you can actually either put in a phrase or a pin, so that if it is lost, excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze. If it is lost, you'll be able to restore them. So pretty good. Now, I do like these. I think, overall, the way that I'm using mine, and I'm just having a look at my Trezor here, is that's for my long-term purchases, right? So you'll take your coins, whatever it is, Bitcoin or Neo or whatever, any of your long-term purchases, you take them offline and you store them. And in reality, guys, you should be looking to maybe even store them in a vault. Because ultimately, if Bitcoin goes to, for example, if that goes to where, we believe it is, if you've got 2 or 3 coins and it goes to 500 grand a coin, you're looking at, $1 million to $1.5 million just hanging around the house. So for long term, put it on there, put it in your vault if you've got a private vault, and just almost forget about it. So you want to look at that. You can, look to have, you can use it because you can just plug it into your computer, spend the money if you want to, that sort of stuff. But like I said, I think they're built for long-term collection of coins. So, hey, some examples. A Trezor, that's what I've got. I am also looking at getting a Ledger as well, just so I can, have a look at both and see which one's better. And I did, like I spoke about, a dedicated offline computer. So I am seriously considering getting a computer just for cryptocurrency. So, and the reason for it is because I am starting to do a little bit of trading, which we'll talk about that another day, about exchanges and what have you. And what you want to look at is, I think it's a good idea, to be honest. I'm seriously considering it. I'm just trying to work out whether I get a laptop or a desktop, for this to happen, and where do I have it, that sort of stuff. So I think it's good. Think about an offline computer, and obviously, it's just a computer. You just don't have it online all the time. You unplug it. Don't have it connected to Wi-Fi, and that sort of stuff. So look, some of the benefits of using a Trezor, they're definitely easy to use. Keeps your private keys isolated on cold storage, can be restored with a seed in case of loss, can set up multiple passwords and generates a new address for each transaction to protect your privacy. So that's what they look like. Like I said, really easy to use. I'm really happy with mine, and yeah, worth checking out. Ledger Nano, this is another one that, these are almost the two most popular ones, the Ledger Nano and the Trezor. So look, both of them I'm having a look at Ledger, when I was researching this stuff, and definitely worth considering as well. And I don't mind having, two accounts either, just again to look at security, spreading them over a couple of devices. They do. Ledger does have multiple currencies, as you can see. They've got like a manager, a ledger, or an app manager that you can utilize as well. So there's a bunch of things that, I'm definitely looking at it more and more about how we can, whether I do have the two as well. So the good thing about it, guys, storing offline, it'll help you present, from, any attack of viruses, theft, loss, extortion these days, and even surveillance, about who's looking out and doing, what you're trying to do. So that's what I like about the offline ones. That's very, very private in terms of what you're doing. So guys, coming up, the first we've spoken of a brief introduction to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and why you should pay attention to the opportunity. This one was what are Bitcoin wallets and where do you get them? So this was a nice simple one video. And, as always, if you've got any questions, come and talk to us. Next one is how to buy and sell Bitcoin. So I'm going to go into that. We're going to talk probably a bit more about exchanges and what have you in that one as well. I'm going to do a brief one about why does Bitcoin have some value as well. Tools and resources with, that one's, just going to share, basically everything we've sort of spoken about, what types of tools, other websites you should look at, other courses you can do to really, really get a full understanding about what it is. And like I said, I've created this cool little flow chart. So when you're going to buy, hold, and trading, what steps you need to take and when. So that's it, guys, for this one. Like I said, it's a nice, real short one. If you've got any questions, as always, email us results@thewealthgame.com.au. That's results@thewealthgame.com.au. And I look forward to our next video. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.